Hello and good afternoon. Thank you for joining us. Welcome to Community Connection Hour presented by San Jose Public Library. During the month of August, we will use this time to hold a Back to School Speaker Series. Our focus for today is special needs, inclusion, and diversity in education. Our guest speakers for today are Susana and Mouna from Parents Helping Parents, PHP, and Susan from Santa Clara County Office of Education. If you have any questions, please ask in the chat and we'll be more than happy to answer them. We can take questions in English, Spanish, and Vietnamese. For more information about our programs, please check out www.sjpl.org. And I take you to Victoria to start it off.
All right, thank you so much, Jeff. Again, thank you so much for coming to this space to share your knowledge, your talent, and your passion with FLC coordinators and with our community and with families and parents. And Susan, you can take it away.
All right, so let me see if I can share my screen. I have to say this is my first day back from a month of vacation, so I've forgotten everything that I ever knew about Zoom. All right. So I work with the Inclusion Collaborative. I'm one of the Warmline support specialists. We have Warmline support specialists in English, Spanish, and Vietnamese. So please feel free to call us in those languages and also in Chinese. I can handle some Chinese. So at the Inclusion Collaborative, we like to support children and welcome all children with all different abilities. We believe that inclusion, however, is not about proximity, but about the intentional planning for success. So it's really important for teachers and parents to plan for that success of students. And we're here to help with that. So I have a short video here. It's about 2.5 minutes of a child with Down syndrome who was included in preschool. Oh, wait. I bet you can't hear it yet, can you? I forgot about sharing the sound.
Yeah, you have to do, you might need to stop share and then reshare.
I did it.
Okay,
right.
great.
I just did it. Let's see.
Away because she didn't
Can you
have
hear
differences.
Thumbs up?
And
yeah.
When I used the buddy system, she built those friendships. Everyone wanted to help Mia.
Look.
You're gonna read a book and then sit down?
No. Read a book, sit quietly.
No.
So sit quiet.
Yeah, the book.
So we go up here to grab the book.
Look. Oh, that was being very friendly.
Go down. Down. I grabbed the book for you.
Thank you.
Mia, here.
So the buddy system not only helped Mia, but also helped other children in the classroom. For Maddie example, she had a hard time in the classroom. She was very wiggly during circle time and hard to focus. But once I implemented the buddy system, it kind of helped her have control of her own body and actually take ownership in helping Mia and being that teacher in the classroom. So it kind of helped overall, not only Mia, but the other children. So it's very helpful. Within my classroom, I use visual aids. I use sign language because not all children have the language development up to their age or developmentally where they should be.
All done. Yeah, we're all done washing hands. Are you hungry? We're gonna have snack pretty soon.
She only been here for 2 months in preschool and she has learned a lot. And I know that's something they do here at school after they're done eating or doing other things. They get a book and read it, and she tries to do the same thing at home, which is I'm like so impressed to see.
Okay, so you can see in that short clip that the teacher did a lot of preparation to help include Mia so that she just wasn't in the class, but was actually included in the class. She had visual schedules, she was using some sign language, and she's implementing a buddy system and doing a lot of other things. And as you notice, she said that it not only helped Mia, but it helped other kids in the class. So inclusion can be really helpful and beautiful when you prepare for it. So one of the things we do at the Inclusion Collaborative is help teachers and parents prepare for that inclusion. So here's our mission and vision. We're at the Santa Clara County Office of Education, and we really want to build inclusion in schools and in the community. We've worked with the library to help them with implement their inclusive story times, and with lots of other organizations as well. We have a special focus this year on promoting equity, and we'll talk a little bit about that when we look at our website. Here is our website, so you can see these tabs at the top will lead you to different parts of our website. So just to give you a little bit of a deep dive into it, we have trainings for teachers and for parents, and you can find information about that trainings by looking at professional development. It takes you to this page, which has trainings, including a menu of service, embedded instruction, and inclusive classroom profile, and educator resource chats. The educator resource chats that were there are free. Teachers can join, and parents, you're welcome to join as well. See if this page comes up. Right, they're usually at Thursdays at 3 to 4, and the series is not up for this semester, is not up yet, but we will be having a series of free chats on all sorts of different inclusive topics for teachers, and parents are welcome to join. We have a YouTube channel. It's a great YouTube channel with lots of trainings that we've done through and that others have done for us throughout the years. So we have our conference sessions are on the YouTube channel. There you can see there's a variety of different videos that we have. Sometimes it's intimidating to look at that. So I also have this link that will provide you with some links to some of the trainings that I thought were very useful for both elementary school and up to high school and preschool as well. So we've got things on the journey of inclusion, co-teaching, paraprofessionals, lots of others. And if you don't see something on the list that you're interested in, you can always email us at the Warm Line, and we can get some of the videos that are on topics that you're interested in. And I forgot to tell everyone, I'm going to put in the chat the link to this Google slide doc, so you can look at it again, or click on any of the links that you think, oh, that sounds really interesting, but you don't know where to get it. So it's on that link that I just sent in the chat. We have information for schools. We can do some training specifically for schools, and we can also do coaching for a specific class. So we will send someone to go into the classroom and look at what's going on, and then give the teacher and parents some feedback on what's going on and what might be helpful. We have information on calming kits. Let's see if I can get that. Whoops, sorry. Is it going to go? It's not going to go to the link. Okay, well, that link is a link for the calming kit, which will give you information about how to create a calming kit. If you want to purchase a calming kit, it will tell you how to purchase it, and it even has a video showing you how to use a calming kit. Calming kit has fidgets and activities that a child can do to help regulate their emotions and their sensory needs, and hopefully help calm down. We have information about embedded instruction, which is a program we do for preschool for including children with special needs in the preschools with of course, with typically developing children. And all of the goals of children are embedded into the regular instruction. So that's a nice program for schools to know about, and for teachers, for parents to know about as well. If you are interested in preschools, inclusive preschools, we have a list called the ICP that have preschool endorsements. So again, if we go to this page, we look at the inclusive classroom profile, and it lists all the schools that have gone through a trainings and endorsements for inclusion. So you can be pretty satisfied with most of these schools for inclusion. We also have a list of other inclusive schools that haven't gone through the ICP, but are still inclusive. We have a conference, and on those videos on our YouTube channel, you can watch some of our yearly conference sessions, including the keynote speakers who are often big wigs, big names in special education and inclusion. And we have the warm line, which is what I do. And you can find that on our website, the Inclusion Support warm line. You can call us at this number, 453-6651. However, we are all working from home right now because we're still, there's still COVID going on. So if you email us, it will probably get to us more quickly. If you decide to call, you leave a message with your phone number, we'll call you back. And we provide the warm line services, again, in English, Spanish, and Vietnamese. And if you click on these, excuse me, you can see more information and our flyer. All right. If you're interested in what we're doing in the warm line, more specifically, you can look at our monthly highlights, which are videos that explain certain strategies that we've highlighted. For example, we have one on greeting people during COVID. So you can watch that little video that goes over some of the social stories we've written. And this one is on greetings, because it's hard not to shake hands or hug anymore. It shows what some of our social stories look like, and our social stories are all free. If you want examples of different kinds of visuals and teaching strategies, you can go to our Pinterest page, which lists different strategies that we've found on the internet for preschoolers, for elementary school, and for high school for different subjects like reading and math. You can find some of those ideas there. Social emotional. I love the teaching math ones that use Legos, because Legos are great visuals for and manipulatives for teaching math, and that some of those links have some really creative ways to teach math visually. All right, so here again is our warm line flyers. So what do? If you call the warm line, we might send you a packet of information. We call them e-packets. We stole that term from PHP, with whom we work very closely. We have lots of information on different subjects. Here are a few, and here's an example of one of our e-packets. This one is for young, encouraging young children to speak. So all sorts of activities you can do to help them develop their speech. We have links like to baby sign, to different baby signs using music, and it just goes on, where you can go for speech therapy if your child might need speech therapy. So there's a lot in our e-packets. And usually if you call or email us, we'll send you way too much information. If we do, just tell us it's too much and we'll send it to you one at a time. We create a lot of visuals for teachers and for parents. So we have visuals such as a visual schedule. This one can be used for schools or for home. It tells you exactly how to make a visual schedule. And it has lots of cute pictures that you can use to create that schedule. If teachers need this kind of schedule with masks, we also have the same schedule with everyone wearing a mask, just to really hammer home that everyone should be wearing a mask in the classroom. We have lots of other visuals, such as choice boards. We can use choice boards for students who are developing their language, or who maybe are learning a second language, are learning English as a second language. It tells you how to make a choice board out of a folder, and it gives you some of the pictures to use. We have lots and lots of choice boards. That's just one. We also have one for social emotional development. We know that schools are really working with parents these days on social emotional development. And as our children come back from being to school after being in the house for so long, for a year and a half, They might need more social emotional development. So pictures of how do they feel, something you can use for your whole family. Everyone can have a little arrow so that, and you can put it on the refrigerator showing how do you feel, mom and dad, how do you feel, older brother, younger sister, and we can talk a lot about feelings. Pictures are a good way to learn more about feelings. We have lots of cards that can help students with sensory, if they need sensory breaks or activities to help them calm down. And here are our two cards. If you want copies of these, you have to email us at the Warm Line and we'll send them to you. They're calming strategies to help regulate our emotions and sensory break strategies for kids who need to move. We know that, you know, when I was in school, we were always taught to sit still with snowball hands and sit up straight. And so we focused on sitting still and we ignored what the teacher was saying because we had to sit still. But now we know from research that we need to let kids learn how they learn best. And some kids need to move and we have to give them that opportunity to regulate their bodies. Once their bodies are regulated, then they can attune to learning. We have behavior supports, visuals for behavior supports. This is my favorite, my very favorite strategy that we have. And this is for social conflicts. Maybe you have two kids at home and they're arguing over toys or they're picking on each other. We suggest the solution kit, which asks kids to explain how they feel. You know, gosh, I'm really mad because I want to ride the bike. Jimmy's riding the bike right now and I want to ride the bike. So I feel really mad, but there are lots of solutions to that. You know, a solution that lots of kids go to is hitting, pushing, grabbing, but there are other solutions. So we have pictures, these beautiful pictures with other solutions like asking nicely, get a timer, saying stop, share, trading toys. Okay, when I first saw this strategy, I thought, no way are kids going to trade toys, but I've seen it in classrooms where kids, they trade. They say, do you want to trade? And they do, and I'm just amazed. Kids are great. But these pictures can really help show them that there are lots of other strategies for solving a social conflict than pushing and shoving or hitting. We have calming strategies like the calm down kit, and we have a social story to go with that that explains what you can do to help calm down, to help regulate yourself. And we have hundreds and hundreds of social stories. Here's a list. If you click on this, you've got a list in English, there's a list in Spanish. It is not complete because we write social stories. I would say I write at least one social story a week. So you can see we have them on holidays, we have them on sports, we have personal ones on personal challenges, on friends, family social stories, like traveling on a plane or a new baby. Somebody's ill in the house, we have social stories on that. The death of someone in a family, we've got social stories on that to help kids work through their emotions on that. And then lots for preschool, elementary school, and even middle and high school. So we have a lot of social stories. If your child is having some kind of challenge, you can call us and say, gosh, do you have a social story on biting, on, I don't know about around you, but I'm smelling a little bit of smoke. So do you have something about safety during the wildfires? We have a social story on that. Lots and lots of social stories. We can even help you create one for your own child using their own pictures. If you send me their pictures, I'll put them in situations so that they can see themselves in the book, which is really fun for some kids. We can do the ages and stages questionnaire for children birth to 60 months old, which is about 5.5. This is a questionnaire that parents can answer that will really explain how a child's developing and see if there's some kind of delay or something that a child's not doing yet. We can then give you activities to help with that. Or if it looks like a significant delay, we can help you get a referral to the Early Start program or to school districts. So this is very useful. It takes about 15 minutes to answer them, 15 minutes to an hour, depending on how much we talk. But it's a great tool for seeing how your child's developing. And we can do a triple P parenting program, which is a parenting class. It's about 4 to 9 weeks. It's one that's recommended by the Center for Disease Control, particularly for students who have ADHD. One of the programs they recommend is triple P. It's not rocket science. Mostly you know the strategies, but we go over it over the phone or over Zoom and email, and we talk about what different strategies might work. You choose a couple, and then we come back every week and see how it's working. It's a good program. And that's about the Inclusion Collaborative. And I'd like to say that all of those strategies from all of those tools and things from the Inclusion Collaborative warm line are free. So you can reach us at the Inclusion Warm Line at seccoe.org or by calling the number 453-6651.
Awesome.
There we go.
Thank you so much, Susan.
Sure.
I have a few things I want to say. One is from that video clip, I wanted to be in that preschool.
I know. Didn't she do a wonderful job?
Oh my gosh,
and,
that was, yeah.
The teacher was so fearful at first. She said, I've never had a child with Down syndrome in my classroom. She was really kind of timid about it, but she got some resources and it was wonderful.
Yeah, it was beautiful to see that. And I love the fact that you have so much diversity in your presentation, in the pictures and in the social stories. I think that's a hats off to the work that you guys are doing. And then I have a question, which is, you talked about the school endorsement. Why is that important, and why would that be important to a parent?
Okay, so if a child is in preschool, there is a program called the ICP, and it is an endorsement for inclusion. So there are someone goes, a professional goes in and looks at the program and goes through the checklist and makes sure that the classes have certain strategies, certain opportunities, certain activities or certain toys, things that are good for inclusion. So lots of times teachers are willing to include, but they don't know much about it. So the ICP is a great tool for teachers to know more about what they need to be inclusive, and also for parents, because if you know that a program has had the endorsement, then they have had lots of experience and their program's been looked at by a professional, and the professional says, yeah, it's not just that this teacher says, gosh, I want to be inclusive, but I don't have a ramp, or I don't have visuals, or I don't have all sorts of things that would really help with the inclusion. We don't, when a program enters wants to be, to receive that endorsement, we don't just fail them. Like if they don't pass, we help them so that they can have all the things that they need so that they can be inclusive, so that they can grow and learn what they need to really truly include children.
Awesome.
With all sorts of needs.
And then the last question is are the calming kits age specific, or are they for any child or adult with?
So the one that we have that you can buy is it probably works for kids preschool through early elementary, but we do have information about how to create your own kit. And it can be your own kit for up to high school. So we have different strategies, different social stories, different cards. So the calming cards, for example, would not be the cute little kids, but would have teenagers, for example. We have cards with teenagers. How do you help calm yourself down when you're a teenager? So you see pictures of teenagers instead of little kids. And then there are different tools and some different strategies. The social story is a little more complex than it is for a preschooler. So yes, we do, but if you want to purchase it, it's only for one kid. But it's easy to make your own, and we can help you do that.
That's awesome. Thank you so much. So before to PHT, does anyone else have any questions or comments for the Inclusion Collaborative?
So I know we got one question about, are the social stories in Spanish and Vietnamese? We do have social stories in Spanish, Vietnamese, and Chinese. And if we don't have it in those languages, then we can translate them for you.
Awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. We're so
Sure.
to play with
I'm going to
us
put
today.
I'm going to put my email or the email for the warm line in the chat, so you can get it there.
Absolutely. Okay, and next we'd like to welcome Parents Helping Parents.
I might be muted. I'm very sorry. So welcome everybody. I'm Susana from Parents Helping Parents, presenting today. We're glad you're here, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about our program. We are a non-for-profit agency. If you're not already familiar with PHP, Parents Helping Parents, we provide information, support, and training to families, caregivers, and professionals raising and caring for individuals of any age with special needs in Santa Clara County. We're located in San Jose, but we also serve San Mateo, Santa Cruz, Monterey, and San Benito counties here in California. And so we have over 40 years of experience in the community supporting families in a variety of ways, and I'll tell you a little bit more about that right now. So we are always available for one-on-one phone calls or video meetings now, since we are at home, and we provide all of our trainings, webinars, and services that we provide online now in English, Spanish, and Vietnamese. And some of our staff, of course, on the phone may speak other languages, so always ask. And so we have a lot of events in a typical month. Maybe we have over 60 virtual events now available to families on many topics, such as how to get your child assessed for special education, applying for public benefits, in-home support, assistive technology tools to support struggling students, how to access early intervention services for younger kids with delays, how to manage challenging behaviors, just to mention some. So many things going on. And I'll show you how to access, how to get to those soon. So a central part of PHP is our parent support and information groups. So it's very important that parents know that they're not alone when they have a kiddo with special needs. And so we currently offer more than 14 disability specific and language specific to English, Spanish, and Vietnamese, also Japanese support groups for parents. And these include, I just added some here to show you for our 0 to 5 year olds. We run parent cafes, which are a very nice and comfortable, cozy, safe way to share about how we're doing as parents and learn about the 5 protective factors for our families. So it's a very nice and cozy space for parents of younger kids. And then we also have now during COVID, every week, an SOA, Saving Our Sanity, but it's mental health support for parents with special needs. And that's running every Tuesday. Due to COVID, we decided to have that more available. Our special education team, which we'll talk to you right now, my coworker is here to talk to you more about special education, offers us a group of information group and support called From Emotions to Advocacy, which is based on a book from Pete Wright, who's a lawyer and himself has a learning disability. And we join parents to learn about, how to go from being very emotional and not knowing what to do to being effective advocates for our kids. Of course, our autism support group and speaker series as well is very popular. They also meet monthly and have a guest speaker and talk about what's going on. And that's also always very popular with our parents. So that's a little bit about a support group. Do visit the website and you will find many more support groups available. PHP also has an assistive technology center. We call it ITEC Center. And it's one of the few assistive technology training and demonstration centers here in California. We don't do assessments, but we do demonstrations of assistive technology so parents can discover tools, low-tech tools to high-tech tools, computers that may benefit their loved one with special needs. And so our AT specialists, they are certified AT specialists, and they provide parents and also professionals. School teams have come to us also when they're exploring different assistive technology options for their children. We are vendorized, meaning San Andreas Regional Center. If children are clients of San Andreas Regional Center, they can cover a full 1 hour. We call it a techploration, an exploration, one-on-one exploration of technology with their little one. We have an exploration for little ones and also for adults and children of school age as well. Right now, we have many packets and kits that we used to let parents borrow out of our library also with assistive technology. Right now, they are in our center, but we're looking about into forms of still lending them out because they've been in there too long. So we do want to lend them out to parents. And those are kits that parents can take home and explore, for example, literacy tools for a child who's younger or a child with learning differences. And so it'll have a pen, it'll have, headphones, it'll have, by area what the child is needing so a parent can explore at home, use it, and then make an informed decision about, oh, okay, this really worked for my child. It helped him. So that's the lending library of assistive technology, is what we call them ITEC kits. And so our resource directory is a great resource also. You can find it off the PHP website, php.com. And this directory contains descriptions and contact information of over 2,400 special needs service providers, from advocates to daycare providers to vision therapists. And we've been told it's one of the largest resource directories and one of the most comprehensive in the United States, specific to special needs. So we really recommend you take a look. I visited myself to find resources for my child. I have a child who's a teenager now with special needs, and I know I found my dentist there, and I was able, and we're able to keep them. So it's a great resource directory. And anybody could submit resources as well to the directory. So if you want to submit yourself as a resource, go ahead and email us, and we can add you. You can add yourself actually to the resource directory. This is just a quick look of what it looks like. And so I highlighted the San Jose Public Library. You are here, and it offers you a map of where the resources are located, and many. So you can search by topic. You can input a search, and if you need help, always reach out to us, and our staff will help you find something as well. Visit our events calendar. Be sure to visit us online. If you are an outside agency, you can also add your events to our PHP community calendar. So we have many, many events on the calendar now every month. And also our e-learning library is online, where you can find more than 300 podcasts, videos, and all kind of, we also have a YouTube channel where we are trying to get more and more every day to educate thousands of families and professionals anywhere, right? Anytime. So they can have these important topics available to them. And it's convenient. We also, as Susan mentioned, we have Epackets. So those are like one page of links to online information that we've already checked and gone through and know they are, good resources, and they are valid, right? They've been checked by us, by our specialists on many topics. So just to give you an example, I added a list of our Epackets on special education. And so you'll find a one page of links to 504 plans. What is a 504 plan versus an individual education program? Assessments, everything on assessments, or now back to school, right? During COVID, what do I need to know as a parent? Charter schools, right? Do they work the same as a regular public school? So all that information you can find. Of course, you can call us and we can tell you if you have specific questions, but you can also download these directly to we just ask for your zip code and they will get to you in a matter of seconds. So that's our e-packet. And now we have Mouna here with us, who is one of our special education specialists here at Parents Helping Parents, and she's going to talk to you specifically about our special education program at Parents Helping
Parents. Thank you, Susana.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Susana. It's always a pleasure because I get all excited about all the things we do, and I'm like part of PHP, but I'm this type of person.
I know. No, I was going to say, Mouna, I know exactly what you mean, because I'm forgetting that I'm helping to sponsor this. I'm like writing down questions like, yeah, it's true.
Yeah, yes. And the truth is, whether the Inclusion Warm Line or Parents Helping Parents, there is so much that we can help with it. And sometimes it's overwhelming. So one thing that we do at Parents Helping Parents is take phone calls or emails and work one-on-one with the family and kind of figure out where they're at and what might be helpful for them. And I wouldn't send, you know, there are some families who says, oh, I love these videos, you know, 7 minutes, I learn everything. And then I know that this is what their time is like and how their learning is. What we do, so we've revamped the special education page, and I wanted people to feel free to go and look at it a little bit. We have just kept a few of the links, and
do you want me to show the website, Mouna? I can.
Yes, because if I click, it's not going to work, right? Okay.
No, I'm sharing, but
okay.
we can definitely share. Yeah, I'll just.
So we have English and Spanish pages, and you select your language at the top. And let's go to.
Sorry, can
English.
everybody see this? Okay. Just give me a yes. Okay.
Yes, we can see it.
Awesome. We want me to do English?
We want to
of course.
Yeah. So the way to get to special ed, this is great. You know, you click on special education and we're not there yet. And then the page has on the margin, lots of helpful links. We forget how overwhelming all these words are. So we do have a link to, we're not going to click on all of, well, maybe you could, yeah. Special education acronyms and glossary. When you're thrown some words, sometimes you're like, what does this word stand for? So this is a way for you to quickly speak the same language, understand what they mean. I remember, my district would say FAPE, and I'm like, what is this FAPE? Then I realized it means free and appropriate public education, but that's how we call it. Then there is a page on parents' rights. Let's not click on it. It's actually your procedural safeguards. It's important. And you have a lot of rights. And I help parents identify, you have a right to participate. So if you feel in an IEP meeting that you haven't been able to participate, it's one of your rights. And you can go back and say, wait a minute, this isn't working. I want to be a better participant. We have the template letter for requesting assessment. It's very important because that's what helps trigger the assessment timeline. And it's important that you be able to have a template to use. Sometimes parents have not used this template, right? And it also works. This is an easier way of making sure that the wording and what you're requesting is pretty clear. We have a template, we have a tool for preparing for your IEP team. And I love it because it's kind of a checklist. It's like a shopping list, but it's a checklist about, okay, have I done this? Yes or no? And you can see that when you engage in it, it will actually, if you said no to something, it will prepare for you an action item list. And these are things you still need to do in order to get ready for your IEP meeting. And it helps you go through the various pieces, and maybe you have forgotten one or more. And that's how, so if you have yes to all and you want to create the document, Susana, nothing will come up if you know everything. But what you could do, let's assume Susana picked a few no's, then you can create a document that will give you some action items. Exactly. Now click on create a document, and there you go. So these are two things that you hadn't done, and then you must give the school, for example, if you want to record your IEP meeting, 24 hours notice before the meeting, and then parents will say, okay, let's let them know we're gonna, and then become a better advocate, attend one of our trainings. And of course you can print your little checklist, and I think it's a nifty tool. We have two more tools. One is during the IEP meeting, which is ready to be published, and one is on transition. And transition in California, the age is 16 in special ed. By the time a student turns 16, they are supposed to have an individualized transition plan in their IEP. We also have the workshops, and it's very important to, so I was going to talk about it, like tomorrow we have one on organizing your documents, and they're happening virtually. It's from 1 to 2, and I actually tell people, I say, look, if it doesn't have value for you, you can just hang up and leave, right? And you don't have to drive anywhere. But I've rarely heard anyone say, oh, this was a loss of time. On the contrary, it's like, I didn't know. I'm so glad. Now I understand. So organizing your document tomorrow is happening from 1 to 1. It is important you register so we can send you the link, right? The Zoom link. We are doing now, what we're doing during COVID is we are holding hands with other parent training and information centers. They are cited here. Thank you, Susana. And we have people sign up from all over, right? And sometimes we have people sign up from other countries. It's fascinating what COVID, I mean, the silver lining of COVID, despite all the stress that it has brought into our lives. Epackets, we talked about the e-learning video library, and there we go. I love it. I love it. I really, when people say, so who's on the IEP team? We have a short video on who is on the IEP team. Do you want to click on one of them? Or signing options about the IEP, IEP timelines, how to prepare for an IEP team meeting. So a lot of well done videos that you can go to in case you're more of a auditory and visual versus, having someone say it to you versus reading it. The cadre is an excellent, so the Epacket information library, just like Susan was showing, that's fine, we're good. So you don't need to call us for this one. You can download them yourself. There's a lot of them. And sometimes what I do is I tell a family, you're going to be moving. Let me send you the moving Epacket. And then I'll also send you the link so that if there's anything else you want, you can send it yourself, right? So you enter your email address, you enter your zip code, and all you need to do is, who do you have here? It's Susana. Okay, it's you. Later, yeah.
You want to talk about cadre a little bit?
Let's take a quick look at cadre. I love it because it is about alternative dispute resolution. It is a center for, a long time ago, people would say, oh yeah, you're going to sue us because you were, and I'm like, no, what we do is actually totally not that. We look for ways to resolve things at the lowest level. We cannot make you do it at the lowest level. If somebody says, I want to talk to so-and-so and I want to file a compliance complaint, I help them get there. But our role is always to say, have you thought about doing this? Have you? And then we give you ways to collaborate and cooperate and have it be a lovely journey for the teachers, for the administration, and for your family, for your child who's learning. And we love cadre, of course, because it also has the Spanish. Thank you, Susana, for this.
I'll take you back. I'll take us back.
This is special education 0 to 22.
Oops.
what's very important is, you know, there are things we don't do. I still have people call and say, will you come to our IEP meeting? Can you send someone to, and we don't go to IEP meetings, right? And we are not going to tell you what to do. We are not attorneys, and we strongly believe that, you know, once we give you the various options, and there often are a lot of options, you're going to be informed and you're going to make a decision you're comfortable with. What we believe at PHP is, you know your child, and you are going to be sitting by your child for many years to come, and you have a vision, and therefore you are best qualified to make a decision, okay, yourselves. Routinely, I was telling Susana, I was talking to a family yesterday who actually says, physically, what am I going to do next? Tell me. And again, we don't recommend, we don't endorse, we don't guarantee, we don't give you advice, although a lot of people say you gave me good advice. Advice is a word in English reserved for attorneys, right? An attorney is able to advise you. Again, we give options. And then we empower you to say, okay, so this didn't work. You know, what have you thought about? This is something else that you can do. On the flip of this, what will we do? We commit to answering you promptly. We commit to giving you accurate information. As Susana showed you, many of the links take you to vetted websites, whether it's the California Department of Education or the Office of Special Education Programs. I mean, we are not going to just go by what somebody thinks they're saying somewhere on, you know, this is accurate info. We are going to listen to you so that we are able to give you resources that specifically target where you are stuck. So we are very good listeners. We get training on being good listeners. And because we speak several languages, we also listen to where you're coming from, okay? Whether it's an actually different language or you are a parent of I mean, there are various cultures within our cultures. So it's very important for us that we give you what you're asking for. Sometimes people say, send me everything you have. This morning we were at a meeting and we're like, we have thousands of resources pages. I'm like, no, I can't do that, right? For us, it's very, very, very important that we respect the confidentiality of what you share with us. Nothing is said about you to anyone in any way specifically. We do ask for your zip code. We do ask for a variety of bits of information. We ask for your child's age because we want to know if they're a preschooler or a high schooler, or be able to serve you better. But also our funders do ask, you know, what are the zip codes you're serving? And we owe some numbers to a variety of grants, but nothing is specific. Just to give you an example, I mean, we've talked to families where the dad and the mom are talking to us, and then they're disagreeing, you know, they have different records, and we give each and respect each other's confidentiality. So as I said it already, what we do is offer options for you to consider, and then let you decide. Yeah. Just on that, I wanted to comment a little bit. Sometimes parents say, well, this is what I want to do. And I say, try it, because the truth is, sometimes they'll say yes. You know, they'll say, once a parent said, I don't like the speech therapist. I want to ask them to change it. And I'm like, okay, nothing in the law says that, but guess what happened? They offered another speech therapist. So that was a lovely resolution without even going further.
Mouna, there was a question in the chat about if PHP, I think it's directed to PHP, if we offer legal assistance. So you just answered beautifully. Just wanted to make sure that that question was answered. I think it was, right, Mouna?
Right, yeah.
But we can refer you to our resource directory, and there are many of contacts there that you can review, right? And
we usually will send you a website so that you hire the right person for you, whether you're considering hiring an advocate or attorney. It's very important for us that you're a consumer, right? So questions to ask before you hire someone.
That's what I wanted you to mention. Awesome.
Thank you. Yeah.
Great.
These are my lovely colleagues. Susana used to be one of our education team. Our director is Jane Flossie Ford. And then to reach any of the education specialists, all you need to do is put their first name at php.com. So my email is mouna@php.com, elena@php.com. Everybody is just like that. You can also email us at info@php.com. And all the calls, all the emails go into a master list. And when I sit down to work right after this meeting, I go to that master list and it's like, okay, who's next? And then I assist them. Any questions? Any more questions for anyone?
Well, first, thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
I have a question unless anyone wants to ask first. So you talked a little bit about, let's see. I want to say that I really like the Parent Cafe. The fact that you're offering a safe, intimate space for parents and calling it a cafe, that's super cool. Yeah. You talked about assistive technology. Can you just expand a little bit on what are some examples of assistive technology?
Of course, yes. So assistive technology for a child, it's anything, and it's in the special education law. Mouna can tell you more about that. So anybody with an IEP has the right to request assistive technology and assessment to their team at school, or have it considered for their child as part of their program, because is anything that a child needs to reach their goals that otherwise they couldn't reach without support. So anything from a slanted board to help them with their position, from a pencil that is adapted for holding a pencil grip, to, and that we call that low technology, right? It's easy, it's low price, and then it goes, it could be all the way up to our computers, right? So an iPad could be assistive technology for a child if they need it for communication. For example, they need an application on the iPad that helps them with language, right? Alternative augmentative communication. And so they need that iPad and they need to learn how to use. So assistive technology is the device, but it is also the service. And that's something we have a training on that. It's coming up. It's on our calendar on the importance of that service, because the device per se can get abandoned very easily or cause frustration in any child. But if it needs to always come with that service, right? How are we going to give maintenance to this iPad or to this device that I was provided? How am I going to learn to use it and then keep it up to date if the child grows with it or needs to change it? So AT is any device that helps the child achieve their goals, and also the service that goes.
Good point. And what would you say is the main difference between an IEP and 504? I know that was on one of your slides.
I'll let Mouna take that one on.
Yeah. So there are many differences. But I'll highlight a few. So an IEP is based on a special education law, and it's IDEA, Individuals with Disabilities Education Act. It does have funding behind it, and recently with AB 130, it has additional funding. But the 504 does not have funding, and it is a result of a law called ADA, Americans with Disabilities Act. The mandate of both a 504 and an IEP is similar. They have to provide a free and appropriate public education. What happens with an IEP is a student become eligible because they require specialized academic services, okay? Specialized academic instruction and related services. and there is a funding for it. What are other differences? An IEP will end when a student graduates from high school or is assessed and shows that they are no longer eligible for special education, or when a student turns 22. A 504 can continue beyond age 22 and actually continues throughout the lifetime in any educational institution. Okay,
okay.
That's an interesting, yes, an interesting.
I didn't know that.
Right, 504 is a series of accommodations that you may need your entire life.
Right.
An IEP will have accommodations, but will also have services associated with it and goals.
Awesome.
This is a short answer, Victoria. You have great questions.
Yeah, okay, all right. Well, we at the library love to be able to share these resources with our community and the partners that we work with and families, so it's good for us to know. Okay, anyone else have any other questions or announcements for the good of?
Sorry. I'll just put that out. You can find us online,
Oh, yes.
social media, and always feel free to call. We're here anytime.
Yes, thank you guys so much. And we're here every Thursday from 1 to 2 p.m. So look for us, CCH Community Connection Hour, on our SJPL events page. And then there was a announcement in the chat that there is for parents and caregivers, if you're interested in Cancer Care Point, there's going to be a presentation next week and it's free at 11 a.m. And the Zoom link is there. PHP, I don't know if there's like families that you might want to share that with, but you can also find it on our SJPL events page. And FLC coordinators, do you guys have any announcements, anything that you want to share about digital literacy or classes coming up?
I wanted to share something. I wanted to share that on our event calendar, people can submit events themselves. So the person doing the care point can go into our calendar. And I mean, that's the lovely one. I will more likely see it and refer families to it if it's on our calendar. So it will be posted on our calendar, not as a PHP event, but people who want to, it's like, so submit, and within 24 to 48 hours, somebody will okay it. We just want to make sure.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Thank you.
No, I know.
So I have a question. We are offering an inclusive reading club for adults and teens. So that means that if you would like to post our program to promote it, we can directly go to that
calendar
page.
I'll share the link right now in the chat. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, that's great.
And it will prompt you with what time and is it free and what's the contact info and just, basics.
Okay, thank you.
Cool. I like basics. That's good. Okay, anybody else have anything to share because we're at our time? Well, thank you guys so much for being part of our Back to Cool. And thank you for all the work that you do for families and educators and parents in our community. And we hope you have a wonderful back to school kickoff.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us so much. Have a great day.
Thank you.